Welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm Pete Quinnell. On Fridays, we wear pink again. Don't worry, Laurie will be back soon. He's just a very busy boy, and he keeps leaving his jacket unattended. Even with Survivor Series tomorrow, the fallout from AEW's Full Gear is still fresh in people's minds. With fans divided on both Swerve vs. Hangman and if it was excellent or not, it was, and the MJF vs. Jay White main event and if it was overbooked or not. It also was. But while some fans were dissatisfied with the main event of the pay-per-view, it appears Jay White himself may also have not been the biggest fan of how things played out. This comes from Wade Keller of PW Torch, who noted that from what he'd heard, White wasn't thrilled with how things went with the build and the match against MJF. Fans had complained with the conclusion of Full Gear that the sequence of events made Jay White look a little on the weaker side of things, not being able to beat MJF after he only had one working leg, with the guns on the outside, multiple distractions, and illegal weaponry. Not to say that he can't recover from that, because of course he can. He's Jay White, and a great showing in the Continental Classic should put him back on track, but I think it's interesting that the overbooking fans have been critical of hasn't also been received well from those involved in the angle. And that's only considering Full Gear itself, with White also reportedly being upset with the build to the match as well, featuring White stealing the world title, the scrapped anti-Semitism angle with Juice Robinson, and a lot of acclaimed and Samoa Joe related shenanigans. But in more positive news, we could be seeing some injured AEW stars returning soon. Fightful Select is reporting that both Dante Martin of Top Flight and Mark Quinn of Private Party are potentially returning soon, with both being backstage at AEW shows recently. Martin has been out since March, and in July was said to be ahead of schedule for his return. Meanwhile, Mark Quinn has been out for nearly a full year, not wrestling since last November. He sustained a shoulder injury, but has also been backstage lately, so could be ready to return soon, which AEW reportedly wants sooner rather than later. It's also worth noting, of course, as Fightful Select mentioned in their report, that just because they may be cleared to wrestle doesn't mean they'll be back on our screens immediately. There's been situations like a Thunder Rosa, for example, where somebody has been ready to return but were awaiting creative. But fingers crossed AEW can find a use for Quinn and Martin, and we'll see them wrestling again soon. And unfortunately, there's also a negative injury update, as according to PW Insider, Cole Carter suffered a concussion at the Ring of Honor tapings after Dynamite this week. During a tag match against Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal, Sydal hit a twisting splash onto Carter, but reportedly landed on his face, forcing his head back into the mat. The match was called off, and Carter was able to walk to the back, but it took him a long time to do so. There is no official diagnosis yet, but PW Insider reports that he apparently suffered a concussion. We at WrestleTalk would like to wish Cole Carter a speedy recovery. And now a word from this video's sponsor.
Pete! 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 Pete!
Yes, what is it, Ollie?
I think I've done it. You didn't believe in me, Pete, but I've done it.
Done what, Ollie?
I've come up with a 3-letter name that can be horribly forced into a 3-letter initialization that I'm gonna name the company after. Just because I can, and I think it's neat.
Please don't do this, Ollie.
Here's my first one. British Men. WrestleTalk.
That's BMW, and a redundant name because it's pretty clear that we're mostly British men.
How about Naughty Actor Sullivan's Association?
NASA? And wouldn't that mean that it's Sullivan's company now?
Is that how companies work?
No, that's not how companies work, Ollie!
Okay. How about Every Single Pile Driver Nailed?
ESPN, you have to know what you're doing here!
Wait! I've got it. Velvet Princes. Napping.
I'm so tired, Ollie. I'm so tired.
Surfshark VPN is an online tool that keeps you safe wherever you browse by masking your important information, which means you can check sensitive stuff like your bank account even on public Wi-Fi. Surfshark keeps your location and download history private and encrypted, meaning you can send or receive files securely too, like my ongoing spreadsheet of 3-letter acronyms for the company. But on top of that, Surfshark also allows you access to any of 3,200 servers in over 100 countries, allowing you to fool your phone, laptop, laptop or tablet into thinking you're in a different country, meaning you Americans can still get the old WWE network. I love you, superior search function! If you click the link in the description down below or visit surfshark.deals/WrestleTalk to get up to 6 additional months for free when you visit surfshark.deals/WrestleTalk as part of their special exclusive Black Friday deal. That's promo code WrestleTalk at surfshark.deals/WrestleTalk for up to 6 additional months for free.
Meanwhile, over in the land of WWE, as previously mentioned, it's Survivor Series tomorrow, and we'll be watching the show at our live watch party at the Long Arm Pub and Brewery in Shoreditch. Get your tickets now, which will be live streamed right here on the WrestleTalk channel, so stay tuned for that. And on that note, tomorrow's episode of the WrestleTalk News will be one of our new deep dive videos, which you guys seem to be enjoying. This does mean there will be no SmackDown review and no SmackDown podcast, as it will be pre-recorded in order to free up some people for our live show that night. So I hope you'll all enjoy that tomorrow. But Survivor Series will be seeing the return of Randy Orton to our screens, and definitely 100% CM Punk as well. CM Punk return confirmed. But those might not be the only returns happening soon in WWE, as WrestleVote is reporting that on the official program for Survivor Series featured our 2 notable tag teams, AOP and Gallus. No other NXT talent are noted either, which seems to indicate that Gallus could be getting called up soon. And as for AOP, Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter mentioned that they've been re-signed for a long time now. They've just been waiting for the right time to bring them back, and perhaps that time is drawing near. Meanwhile, there could be yet another return happening soon too, as WWE have released new Trish Stratus merch on their store. While this isn't necessarily an indication of their intention, Trish hasn't been seen for a few months now on WWE TV, and we're getting even closer to Royal Rumble season, where she's sure to show up again, right? So perhaps she could return before then to insert herself into the picture before the show. One of the biggest mysteries heading into tomorrow's Survivor Series is in regards to Shinsuke Nakamura. While not booked on the card as of yet, some have speculated that we could finally find out just who the heck the Japanese star has been talking about in his cryptic promos over the past few weeks. Given the fact that Nakamura has been perhaps the biggest perpetrator for adding fuel to the CM Punk fire lately, specifically by curiously deciding to start using the GTS, many have high hopes for Punk to be the mystery man. But could it be someone way more unexpected? Someone not even contracted to WWE? Well, on Sean Ross Sapp's Thanksgiving Fightful Select Q&A, he was posed the question of whether Kazuchika Okada could be the target for Nakamura, with the fan referencing a potential situation similar to when New Japan contracted Jushin Thunder Liger when he came over for a one-off appearance at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn in 2016. To which SRS replied, "Nobody in New Japan believes that, but I can tell you there is a wrestler in WWE high up that believes Nakamura is calling out another Japanese wrestler. That's their hunch though." When it comes to male Japanese wrestlers currently contracted to WWE, you have Akira Tozawa and Akira Tozawa. And something tells me that Nakamura hasn't been seeking him out this entire time when he just squashed him a few weeks back on Raw. So that would in theory leave either a new signing or a loanee from another company. WWE have got a pretty established interest in Okada, and he's close friends with Nakamura, so hey, you never know, this is the Triple H regime after all. Who do you think the mystery man is? Let us know in the comments below. Speaking of Survivor Series, one of the just 5 bouts on offer at the PLE is Gunther defending his Intercontinental title against The Miz, or as Gunther intimately refers to him, Mike. While the result, on paper, feels like the most foregone conclusion of all foregone conclusions, there is one important aspect of it that may plant a seed of doubt. That being, if Miz wins, he will tie Chris Jericho's record of 9 Intercontinental title wins. Now, we all know there's 2 things WWE loves more than anything in this world: breaking records and sticking it to AEW. And with a Miz win, they can do both in one fell swoop. But will they, in fact, even acknowledge the fact that Jericho has the record, or even Jericho's existence whatsoever? Well, what do you think? Of course not. While they do give a mention to Miz being an 8-time IC title holder and being 1 win away from tying the record, they do not mention Jericho's name. But when discussing the record of cumulative time spent as Intercontinental Champion, they have no issue naming names, mentioning The Miz is only 19 days away from breaking Pedro Morales' record as the most time as IC champ of 617 days. Speaking of which, Gunther's 532 days as champ also puts him within touching distance of that same record. So perhaps me thinking Miz actually has a shot is all just in my head, because he doesn't, right? He's not gonna win. Can't win, can he? Can he? In what is not a forced segue whatsoever, fun fact about Gunther, he was drafted to Raw in this year's WWE draft. Do you know who else was? Odyssey Jones. You don't know who Odyssey Jones is? I don't blame you, as since being called up from NXT to Raw, he's been seen a total of 0 times. Jones's main roster future has been shrouded in mystery, with the big man working nothing but live events and the superstar spectacle in India, weirdly enough, since his move to the Red brand. As of right now, he is still listed as a Raw star on WWE.com. However, last month there was reports of Jones being considered to join up with Bobby Lashley's Hurt Business 2.0 faction on SmackDown, and considering that Jones has been working the Blue brand's dark matches, made this seem possible. But once again, a month later, there's been no sighting of Mr. Jones. According to SRS on his Fightful Select Q&A, Jones was pitched to join Lashley's stable. However, now it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Which means the myth lives on. Is Odyssey Jones real? While Jones continues to be off our screen, so too has the Celtic warrior Sheamus, who was last seen on TV on the August 18th SmackDown, where he took part in Edge or Adam Copeland's final WWE match, which honestly feels like a lifetime ago now. The reason reportedly being that the Irishman has been suffering with a really bad shoulder injury, according to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio. While there has been no confirmation on when we can expect to see Shamo back, he was recently listed to appear at the November 24th, December 8th, and 15th episodes of SmackDown. However, as of checking now, he no longer is. So with Sheamus' return date unclear, what does that mean for the former WWE champion's soon-to-be expiring contract? Sheamus, like many others, has a deal that is set to come up in 2024. And speaking on the previously mentioned Fightful Select Q&A, SRS said that it was very likely that his contract will be extended due to this injury. This has been known to be commonplace for WWE, with Sheamus' good pal Drew McIntyre also reportedly seeing time added to his own soon-to-be expiring contract through the rest of spring. Now, a reminder that tomorrow's episode will be one of our new deep dive videos, and if you like those, then why not check out Wednesday's edition where Luke breaks down the question, does AEW actually make money?